I love wearing satin bonnets, but these types in particular give me a serious headache and I don't like it at all. So in today's video, I found a way to get rid of that issue with this type of satin bonnets, and I'm just here to share with you. I'm going to be showing you how to make this very easy to wear satin bonnet that is very gentle on your head, gentle on your strands, and just makes you very comfortable when rocking your natural hair. So if you want to know all about it, then you definitely want to keep watching. Okay guys, so it's time to get started. What I'm doing now is I'm showing you the items that you're going to be using in order to make this satin hair bonnet. You're going to need your Ankara fabric, your satin fabric, as well as a stretchy fabric. The fabric I'm using for that part in front that is stretchy is a lycra fabric. Feel free to use an old headband or anything stretchy basically. What I'm doing now is I'm cutting my satin fabric and I'm cutting it on a dimension of 25 inches by 25 inches. This is going to give me the amount of room that I need to just cover up my head conveniently while wearing my bonnet. Feel free to make yours bigger or smaller, but this is a standard dimension for you to make an adult satin hair bonnet. I also cut my Ankara fabric using that same dimension, 25 inches by 25 inches. What I'm doing now is I'm folding that fabric into 4 places in order to achieve my full circle. If you are a fashion designer or a tailor, you know the reason why I'm making these moves that I'm making while making I've said making like 4 times. These procedures that I'm taking, a tailor would understand what I'm doing. But for newbies on here, this is how you're able to make a full circle. So if you're trying to cut a full circle, a perfect full circle, you need to fold your fabric into 4 places, and that is what I'm doing right now. You're going to start cutting from the closed part of your fabric. Make sure you're not cutting from the open part right here that I'm showing you all. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start marking the radius of my full circle. So in order to get my full circle, I need to mark my radius in order to cut the circle. You guys should just go along with me. Feel free to leave questions in the comment section if you have any questions for me. So the radius of my full circle is 12 inches, and yeah, that is what I'm measuring right here. As you can see, the circumference of my head is 22.5 inches, so I'm just going to say 23 inches. So in order to get the amount of room that I would love to give me the comfort that I need while wearing my hair bonnet, I prefer to use a radius of 12 inches for my full circle. The full circle I'm going to be using to achieve my hair bonnet. I hope I'm not losing you guys on here. I really hope you guys are following. So what I'm doing now is just measuring 12 inches from that peak point. The peak points at the side where our fabric is folded, right? The part where the fabric is unfolded, that's where you want to start measuring your dimension from, the dimension of your radius. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now. And once that is done, I'm going to go ahead to cut out my full circle. I'm going to show you guys what the full circle looks like once that is done, but I need to mark that same dimension as well on my satin fabric because I'm turning the Ankara with the satin fabric. So when I say I'm turning this Ankara with the satin fabric, what I mean is the inner part of my bonnet is going to be made of satin, while the outer part of the bonnet is going to be Ankara. I like to use satin for my hair. If you have a fussy natural hair like me, you know that satin is very gentle on your strands. Satin, silk, fabrics in that family are very gentle on your strands, and that's what I'm going for. Cotton and all those other fabrics will be a bit too harsh on your strands. So yeah, this is my perfect full circle. Can you guys see that we have a perfect circle right here? A tailor already understands this whole process, but these details that I'm providing are for just my newbies in sewing that may be watching this video. So I'm going to place the fabric wrong side to wrong side. So the shinier part of my satin is the right side, right? While this dull part is the wrong side. So I'm going to place my Ankara fabric, the wrong side of my Ankara fabric on the wrong side of my satin fabric. So this is what I have now. And all I'm going to go ahead to do now is to pin them, to secure them on each other. I love to use my pins when working with fabrics because it just ensures that things move smoothly and perfectly. I don't like doing shabby jobs when sewing stuff for myself or for people that I may be sewing for. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead to pin, and I'll go and sew this circle on each other on a dimension of just ½ inch. I'm going to sew that circle round on ½ inch, and once that is done, I'm going to begin gathering. With gathering, all you need to do is just pull on one of the strands or the threads of your machine, the thread that your machine would have left out after sewing. Just pull on it to gather your circle gently. You have to be very gentle, because if the thread should cut, you have to start from the beginning again, and that will be very, very frustrating. So just be gentle, take your time, just like I'm doing right here. Take your time, gather the circle very well, and once you're satisfied with what you have, you need to make sure that you measure again and make sure that you have the right dimension. Don't go and allow your bonnet to be too small or too big. The circumference of my head, like I said earlier, is 22.5 inches, but I just decided to make it 23. So I need a bonnet that is like 11.5 inches wide, and that is exactly what I have here. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to just cut off this unkept edge, but before I do that, I'm going to tie the thread that came out of my machine after I sewed, the thread I used to gather this bonnet. I'm going to just tie them together to secure my bonnet, so to prevent it from unraveling basically. So this is what I'm doing now. I'm just going to tie that. Once that is done, I'm going to cut up the edges of this bonnet, so the gathered edges, right? I'm going to just trim it. Not be careful when cutting too, so you don't overcut, right? So cut it as gently as possible, just to make things neater by the time you attach the band of the satin bonnet. So the band of this satin bonnet is made of a stretchy fabric, and the stretchy fabric I'm using is that black lycra fabric I showed you guys at the beginning of the video, but we'll get to that part now. All I'm going to do now is cut up this thread, and yeah, this is my lycra fabric. I'm cutting 5 inches of lycra by 22 inches of lycra. So I removed 1 inch from the total circumference of my head, so this is 22 by 5 inches. What I'm going to do now is fold that 22 inches into 2 to give me 11 inches, and just join it together on 1/2 inch, and that is what we have here. You guys, I hope you are following. If you've been enjoying this video so far, please don't forget to give me a big fat thumbs up, so I know you guys are finding this video very, very insightful. All I'm doing now is I'm going to attach this lycra headband part of this hair bonnet, right? I'm going to attach the lycra to the main bonnet, and all I'm doing now is just pinning it. You guys know that I love to pin stuff when sewing, so I'm going to pin it round just to secure it. And once that is done, I'm going to take the bonnet back to my machine to attach this lycra fabrics, the stretchy fabric that is going to serve as the headband area of this bonnet, to my machine. So I'm going to join it together on 1/2 inch, and when joining it together, make sure that you're sewing such that your sewing will not show at the other side. So on the Ankara side of the fabric, make sure that you're sewing, just make your sewing very hidden, right? So I know it can be very tricky, but just be careful. And this is what I have now. I've gone ahead to sew my lycra fabric onto the Ankara fabric round, and this is what I have. I sewed it on 1/2 inch, like you can see. So once that is done now, all the rough edges, all these edges that are not just as aesthetically pleasing, it just looks rough, right? I'm going to trim off these parts of this bonnet before I now fold the lycra into the bonnet, right? And then just sew it round one more time. I know it sounds very complicated, but trust me guys, this process is very simple. Just try as much as possible. If there's anything I'm not mentioning, just pay attention to the video. I provided every single information you need on how to achieve this particular satin bonnet. So yeah, this is me now. I'm going to go ahead to just fold this lycra in towards the side of the main satin bonnet, so the silk side. I'm just going to go ahead to sew it such that it looks neat, right? So you're going to fold it a little bit first, like you can see, then now fold it into 2 and go ahead to sew. This is just to make the inner part of the satin bonnet look very neat, so it doesn't look tacky and just somehow. It just looks very good and professionally made. So I'm just going to pin it round as usual before I take it to my machine, and then just sew it round. Once that is done, I'm going to show you guys the finished look. So yeah, just watch me pin my lycra onto my satin bonnet. Okay guys, so this is about it, and this is what the bonnet looks like. Can you guys see that this particular procedure is very, very simple? All it needs is just patience. This is what the inner part of my hair bonnet looks, and it's going to be very gentle on my fussy natural hair strands. You guys know that I'm very particular about hair care, and this right here is a fantastic part of your hair care routine. Even if you can't make one for yourself, make sure that what you're using to cover your fussy natural hair is a satin or silk head wrap or bonnet or scarf. Just make sure that is a fabric that is going to be gentle on your strands. This is me rocking my newfound love right here. My hair loves it. It's so gentle on my, my forehead, my hair strands, and all that. Feel free to recreate this. I'm just going to show you guys up close what the bonnet looks like. If you enjoyed watching this video, please go ahead to give me a big fat thumbs up. Also, if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please do well to subscribe and join the family. I make videos twice every week. Thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in another one. Bye.